But I've just, I don't know, gone back and revisited it, and you can see I've lightened her up a bit, given her a new t-shirt, no surprise, green and white stripe. But you can see, it's sort of like brightened it up a bit. I think that's what I'm trying to do with my whole life and my outlook. So I've done it to a painting.
Hi, I'm Denise. I'm an artist in Sydney, Australia, and this is my vlog where I share bits and pieces along the way of what's happening in my artist journey. This week is more or less a bunch of little edits on some tiny paintings. And so at the beginning of the video, I show you all the end results and chat about those a little bit. And then the second half of the video, you can see how the changes were made and how they came about. So it depends on your point of interest. And these will be added to my Etsy store. Here's an example. Here's this little one. She sort of turned out to be a little bit of a self-portrait, except she's got red hair. But this one really delighted me. And so it was just sort of reminding me to, like, is there a story in a tiny painting? You can actually fit quite a bit. And I'll explain and show you what I mean by the changes I've made in this video. So thanks for joining me. And if you want to support this channel, please like the video. And if you've got a friend who would be inspired by it, please share it. I've had an interesting little time as far as growing the channel. Last week, or the week before, the video blew up and got over 50 people joining the channel. And then the following week, just like crickets, and 3 people disappeared. So it's a very up and down kind of journey being a YouTube artist, I think. I mean, I'm an artist first. YouTube is an addition that I've chosen to add in. But it's not without its challenges if you're highly sensitive, and that idea of sort of rejection when people leave is really an interesting thing. And I think maybe that is a part of the artistic journey is not everybody's going to like what you paint or what you make. And so finding in yourself to making art that makes you happy is an ideal way, and then overflowing from there. I keep reminding myself and keep discovering by how life shows up. So anyway, I hope you enjoy, and thanks for joining me.
I thought I'd show you some things I've been doing. I made some changes to some of these little paintings. Now, where are the pieces I had? This one here that I called Gladys. This is how she was. She had a black t-shirt on, and I've just made a few changes. I might have to actually touch up that vase again. That didn't quite work out. But I've just, I don't know, gone back and revisited it, and you can see I've lightened her up a bit, given her a new t-shirt, no surprise, green and white stripe. But you can see, it's sort of like brightened it up a bit. I think that's what I'm trying to do with my whole life and my outlook. So I've done it to a painting. And then, as I said, I just might do something else with that little vase. I don't know why. I think I was trying to neaten it or clean it up a bit because it had that. So I might just revisit that piece. What else? Oh yeah, this one here. So that's how it was. And this just seemed kind of boxy. I think too, they didn't sell right away. So 4 just shot out the door on the day I put them out. And these other ones remained. So I thought, oh well, I'll just revisit them. So I've gone in and revisited, sorry, put it in the screen, this one. Made a little bit of change to the little doggy. Gave it a water bottle and a little glass. A few more things to move the eye around. A little bit of paint added to the percolator. Brightened up this little vase, and also gave her a striped t-shirt and a green cardie, because I love green cardies. So that one, I think, again, is just elevated it up a little bit. And then I had this piece. It was like this to begin with. and it has become this. I don't know, it just wasn't, it was sort of like, what's the story here? It's sort of like, wasn't telling a clear enough story, even though I was really enjoying this interesting backdrop. She seemed a little bit sad, I think. And so I thought, all right, what could I do to change her? So I changed her shirt to start with and just made it plain white. And then I decided to make a very dark blue background. And then the Matisse posters arrived. I think I Googled and looked them up, and they were in groups on different walls. And so that made me think of this. It's sort of like she's gone from being in somewhere that we can't quite know, with a bit of a vine growing down, to it feels like now she's in sort of a gallery and looking out at us, which is what she was doing here. But then I just gave her those stripy shirt and some green glasses and brightened up her hair. It's like she's been to the hairdressers. So yeah, I kind of love that one. And then interestingly, that caused me to do some more Matisse little ones, because I decided after working on this one, I painted some boards blue because it was I was just very smitten with this once I saw it. And these ones have come about since then now. So this is, my sketching using the gel pen, and I went ahead and used one of my inspirations from my book. Which one was it? So I have used this to inspire this, and that one kind of came out quite lovely. I love that high contrast. And this one, revisiting the classic. I hadn't seen this reverse like this before. I've always seen this figure done in the blue with a white background. So that was fun to play with those shapes, how they interlock and like that. So that one came out kind of gorgeous. And I've always loved these very simple kind of, they look so simple, but they really have a mood. He was brilliant. Picasso and Matisse did beautiful, simplified line drawings that told so much in them, I think. So that was fun to do that one as well. And then the last of this current little arrangement was this one here, who I've called Lainey. And she's sort of like walking around with her cup. And so I made some changes to her as well. Warmed up the background. And I just wrote and I warmed up her face as well. And I kept mostly her the same because I found her kind of interesting, and I didn't mind the way she was looking, but the emptiness around her, it just wasn't, again, telling enough of a story, I think. So I just wrote down the words that came to mind when I spent a little time looking at this one. So she's out on a cold winter's day, taking her coffee for a walk. Or did the coffee call to her from the street cafe for her to come out and meet it? A cup of comfort, a moment on her own. So I think that one is vastly improved too. I think I'll be adding these to my Etsy shop. I'm sort of making some changes and trying Etsy as opposed to my website for some of these smaller things and my art cards. Just trying out my Etsy shop. I had it years ago, but never really added things to it. And my beautiful daughter Alex helped me over Christmas to reinvigorate, re-enliven the Etsy store. So I will probably be adding these to the Etsy shop very soon. So keep an eye on that one. And let me know in the comments what ones you really enjoy. I'd love to hear.
It seems to really help to put paintings in situ. So I'm very excited to have a mantelpiece in this place that we're renting. And so made a little vignette for you. I decided to start, this is just Prussian blue. And at first I thought, oh, it could be interesting to have it a little bit transparent. But as I, painted it all on, it was kind of a dry, I got this little jar of paint a while ago and haven't used it all that much. And it's a bit thick, sticky. It's not like creamy and yummy anymore because air has got to it, I think, and it's done a bit of drying out. But anyway, Prussian blue is an interesting one to me. I don't know, it's probably a bit of a mixture of blues that make Prussian, I'm not sure. And so I've just been trying that out there. I just wanted to see what would happen, like that I wasn't loving what happened before, so let me just try something new. So I changed the background and found it kind of moody and interesting. This one had me quite stumped. And as a matter of fact, how these paintings came about was a dear friend cut them up from a board so they cut into like 9 squares. And so this is a crop of a lady that I had painted. And so somehow that had me remain quite attached to her for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And so I just sort of went in slowly thinking, oh, what little changes, what little edits can I make to make this one pop a little bit. I kind of thought maybe her face was lost a little bit in that giant turtleneck scarfy thing that I gave, so I just put a little bit of kind of texture and interest in it with a white gel pen. Gave the idea of sort of buttons down there. Just sort of adding interest in a way, interest to the, to give it a bit more sort of texture and bring it to life a little bit. Then when I came back and revisited this painting, I decided, no, the cloudy sort of part transparent wasn't seeming to work. And so I thought, I had the idea, I think, drop in that, let's make something Matisse behind her. I think I was just going to do like one poster of a Matisse blue painting. But that didn't come till a little bit later. So I tried this ultramarine fluid paint just to see what would that do. And so it's really quite bright, which could have been okay to leave, but somehow I got to thinking I wanted it a bit deeper or something. So, I'd already changed the shirt to white there. I forgot to film that. It's really a case of going by feelings, isn't it, with colour, I think. And so I just kind of kept playing around, rubbing it back, checking it out. Was I happy with it? And then I decided to bring in the gouache. This is Liquitex gouache, and I got the ultramarine and the blue, which I'll put on the screen because I forgot which blue. And then I even added a little bit of black. So I had the three colours and sort of tried to bring, I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to bring a bit of nuance, I think, to it. So this had me putting all kinds of bits and pieces of blue behind it. And then I just used pencil to sketch out these little shapes, and then used a white gel pen to draw them in. It was very satisfying, actually, making these little drawings on a very dark background because they jumped out straight away.
These are painted on little pieces of wood, so I'm just trying out some like blue tack, but it's white. Just trying them out on the wall here.
That's all for this week. Now, I'm going to be adding these to my Etsy, depending on when you see this video. They may or may not still be there. And by the way, if you see paintings on my vlogs or videos that you're really interested in, and you'd want to ask any questions if they're available for sale and things like that, most often they will be. So you're welcome to email me. The links for that will be below, and or contact me via message on Instagram. And I doubt whether any of these folk will be watching, but I really don't bother with NFTs. I just can't be bothered. They don't make sense to me. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.